What's up, guys? This is Wenzes. Welcome back to my channel where we talk about creating an epic life on your terms. And today we want to talk about something that's rather uncomfortable, but that so many of us have to deal with, which is how to deal with haters in your own family, especially the ones who actually love you and really want the best for you, but they keep saying things, they keep acting in a way that actually brings you down. Today we're going to talk about the 5 steps to end this vicious circle and creating a family dynamic that is not pulling you down. Before we get started, I want to remind you, if you want to dive deeper into creating your epic life today, check out all the information on coaching as well as the Epic Life Masterclass. All the links are in the description so you can make a well-informed decision. Step number 1, you cannot be objective and listen to your intuition. I've said this one before in a lot of my boundaries videos, but this has to be repeated every single time. And if you get stuck at one of those steps, this is where you have to restart the process again. You cannot be objective. You cannot listen to your intuition. That's just too much to ask for. People who have been in your life for so long, they have a certain power over you. And we have to look at it from a third-person perspective in order to get out. So how are we going to do that? This is actually step 2, which is to do something you've never ever done before. You have to break the dynamic. You have to do something that the person has never heard from you. For example, a no in a certain situation. Or one of your family members wants attention and for the first time, you're not giving it to them. It has to be something that actually breaks the pattern. It has to be something that makes the person understand that you're not the same person you used to be. You want to change the dynamic, you have to change the way you are towards that person. It pretty much has to be that you actually see a new person in front of you and you have a completely different relationship with them. So next time you have a situation that triggers you, do something you've never done before. And remember, you do not need to convince that person. See, what so many of us do, we try to make that person understand why we're feeling bad. We try to make them understand that we actually are not lazy, that we actually are successful, that we actually are good people, that we actually mean well. Oh, we want to make them aware of all the pain they're causing us and for them to understand what's been going on so they change. Do not do this because you're still not taking responsibility of what kind of behavior you allow in your relationships. So let's say you have a family member who always makes you feel bad about every little accomplishment you share. The old version of me and what most people do once they say, now I need to break the pattern and I'm not just gonna get upset and mad and so on, they try to make that person understand them. They try to convince them that it's a bad idea for them to bully them. They either say, this is not helpful, you're hurting me with this, you should be encouraging me. I'm not saying don't say that, you can still say that, but what happens the next time? What if the person forgets it because the person is just built like this? They are built in their own unique way with their own limiting beliefs, and if they feel they have to put down every one of your accomplishments, they're gonna keep on doing it. So if this happens again, you're just gonna get upset with yourself. You're gonna say, why didn't I stop this? That person doesn't care about my feelings. I said it before and now it's gonna continue. This happened because you haven't taken responsibility yet. You tried to make the other person understand why they shouldn't be doing this, but you're still leaving the choice to them if they're gonna keep doing this or not. If you wanna really take responsibility for what kind of behavior you allow in your life, you have to do something that actually shows a consequence to the other person. So you can either be like, you do this again, I'm not gonna come over. And you really do not come over. Or what I often do, I just snap. I snap in a way that actually makes that person feel really uncomfortable. I don't like doing this. This is not something I want. But if this family member has caused you pain for the last 5 years, why do you think it's not appropriate for you to snap once so that person actually feels this uncomfortable feeling inside in that moment so they remember it instantly and that's keeping them from doing it again? It's like that child that you tell, do not go to the oven, do not go to the stove, you're gonna burn your fingers, and they won't listen. But the moment they burn their finger, they're never gonna do it again. So make them aware how uncomfortable it can be to keep doing this to you. Sometimes we have to bite back, and that does not make you a bad person. That actually makes you a person who takes responsibility for the kind of behavior you allow in your life. Do not try to convince them, just make them aware of the consequences and do not budge. Step number 3, analyze what actually triggers you. You'll be surprised how many things trigger you that you thought you had taken care of years ago. That's just normal, especially in family situations. So next time you see your family and something happens, write it down because the thing that triggered you, that can be the key. So for example, let's say one of your family members always puts down your ideas or your little successes, and that really triggers you. There are 2 options. Number 1, you're actually really doubting yourself because you've taken on your family members' limiting beliefs, or you believe that you deserve to have people around you who do not encourage you. And then ask yourself, how would actually the version of you who believes in your own dreams and who doesn't want to have people nagging on them, but actually only wants to accept people in her or his life that believe in their dreams, how would that person react in this situation? What would they say? And next time it happens again, react this way. In order to become the person you want to be, you have to act in a way that may feel uncomfortable right now, but it's actually what the new version of you would do. You have to grow into this new version of you, and you have to do it with actions before you're ready and before you feel comfortable with it. You know how we say, get comfortable being uncomfortable. Step number 4. Express anger. You have to realize it's not going to be that you just sit down, you make a list, you realize all the dynamics that have not been going well with this one family member. You talk to that person one time and then everything happens at once. It's going to be a while. It's going to take maybe 2 or 3 times. But at some point, you're going to be able to express that anger. You have to make that person aware of what they have put on you. And I'm not talking about explaining yourself. I'm not talking about you saying to that person, you hurt me so much, I feel really uncomfortable with this, and that's it. Forget it. That's not how it works. You actually have to be a mirror. You have to make that person feel what kind of pain they have been causing to you. That's why I love the metaphor of the mirror. At some point, you're going to break free. At some point, you're going to realize that it's not right that you just internalize everything and that you take on the pain, you take on the negativity, and you have to deal with it. This isn't your pain. This isn't your responsibility, so do not take it on. So once you express that anger and you don't even feel the necessity to explain yourself, because in the end, it doesn't matter. You just want that person to stop. Then you have to create some distance. Be by yourself, allow yourself to process that anger, allow yourself to be mad. And once you feel like you're calming down, you can then enter the relationship again, seeing that person in a different light. Because up until that point, you've allowed this person to have such a big impact on the way you felt. And from now on, you do not allow that person to have that impact on you. That will actually make your relationship with that person feel way more distant. But that's only going to be for the beginning. It's actually a really good technique to create boundaries in a healthy way, so then you can grow closer, knowing that you only allow this person to come closer to you because they protect your boundaries. And you're the one ensuring that this happens. It's not on the other person, because if they once cross your boundaries again, you make them feel again what kind of pain they just caused in you. Step number 5, forgive yourself and forgive them. Understand that they've been doing this because they themselves have limiting beliefs. It has absolutely nothing to do with you, and you forgive yourself for allowing this kind of behavior in your life. You have to be willing to forgive them and yourself in order to move on. But with forgiveness, you also change the dynamic. It will never ever be how it used to be. You have to be willing to see that person as a completely new person. You have to see the dynamic completely different. I've changed dynamics with family members in a way where I can't even remember the person they used to be for me. All I remember is how much pain it caused me to be around that person. And now I don't feel it. From time to time, something comes up and then I realize, this is still something that I haven't taken responsibility for. I take responsibility for it, I express my anger, I give it some distance, and then I change my dynamic. I forgive that person, I forgive myself once the anger has dropped down, and then the relationship can move forward in a way that is either uplifting you or at least not pulling you down. If you feel stuck at some point in this path, you just go back to step number 1, which is to recognize that you can't be objective and you can't listen to your intuition. Then break the pattern and do something you've never done before. You do not need to convince the person that you're a good person, successful, not lazy, and so on. Take every little conversation that is triggering you as a great opportunity to analyze what you still believe about yourself that's hindering you from getting to the next level. Express your anger. You do not need to explain yourself. Just make that person feel the pain they've been causing you. And last but not least, take a breather, really work through your anger, and then forgive yourself, forgive them, and create a new dynamic that's only bringing you positive energy. I really hope that helped you. If you want to dive deeper, check out all the links in the description on coaching or the Epic Life Masterclass. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Like always, I wish you a wonderful week, and I talk to you next time. Bye.